In an abandoned city, Lim Dae-in was engrossed in his cultivation. He reflected on how he had pushed himself too hard, leading to his current state of exhaustion. The ocean martial art technique, thunderclap, he realized, was best reserved for emergencies, and he needed to take a break from using it. His fatigue was compounded by the fact that he had indulged in alcohol the previous night. He glanced at his phone and noticed numerous missed calls from Baek Young-wai. When he finally answered her call, she immediately scolded him, demanding to know why he hadn't been answering her calls. Lim Dae-in explained that he had been suffering from severe cramps and had overslept due to his exhaustion from the previous day. Young-wai apologized for bothering him and inquired about his well-being. Feeling better, Lim Dae-in asked her what was going on. Young-wai revealed her plans to officially form Team 7, explaining that a team required various members, including those responsible for filming, medical support, equipment, and operations. She also mentioned the importance of having a secretary to handle schedules and paperwork. Lim Dae-in acknowledged the significance of having the right team members but expressed his trust in Young-wai's judgment to make the right choices. Flirting playfully, Young-wai expressed her satisfaction in recruiting him as the team leader and suggested continuing their conversation over lunch. Lim Dae-in mentioned that he had someone specific in mind to recruit, Wang Gu-ho of Blackhound, and asked Young-wai to contact him. After speaking with Young-wai, he reached out to the guild leader. The guild leader informed him that he should take a 3-day break, as Young-wai had already discussed his situation with him. Lim Dae-in protested, feeling that he could continue working despite his fatigue. The guild leader, however, insisted that resting was essential, especially while waiting for the team to be fully assembled. He emphasized that Lim Dae-in was crucial to the guild's future and suggested they have a match once he had recovered. Lim Dae-in pretended that Lily was hungry and abruptly ended the call, thanking the guild leader and assuring him that he would rest well. Lily emerged from the tent with excitement and asked if it was time to eat chicken. Lim Dae-in slyly replied that he would prepare something even tastier than chicken, a special dish made with fresh ingredients and tender snail meat, including the inner core taken from the heart. He called it a mana-nourishing dish and proudly presented the snail meat soup that had returned from hell. However, Lily was disappointed with the strange color and appearance of the soup. She pretended to be full from eating a lot of chicken the previous day. Lim Dae-in tried to persuade her, emphasizing the deliciousness of the snail meat in the soup, but Lily remained unconvinced. Seeing her curiosity piqued, Lim Dae-in threatened to eat all of the soup himself. Lily quickly changed her mind and said she could eat it all, though she immediately regretted her decision after tasting the food. She expressed her disappointment, and Lim Dae-in consoled her, assuring her that there were many other delicious things to eat. Lily asked if they would have pork belly for dinner and inquired about what pork belly was. Lim Dae-in described it as something more expensive than chicken, sparking Lily's interest. She enthusiastically mentioned how it could make life more enjoyable to eat such delicacies. Lim Dae-in emphasized the need to work hard first before indulging in such delicious meals. He proposed going treasure hunting, explaining that monsters in territories like Urk had artifacts from another dimension. The scene shifted to Urk territory, where Lim Dae-in observed a stone statue through a telescope. He thought about how the stone held a treasure inside and that raiders had discovered it before he had reincarnated. This time, he intended to claim it first and use it for something useful. However, there were about 200 Urks in the vicinity, which was still a significant challenge for him. Lily was with Lim Dae-in as he planned to sneak into the Urk territory. He instructed Lily to set a fire when she received the signal, which would be the falling of one of the torches near the entrance. He emphasized that the fire should not be too big to avoid drawing too much attention. Lim Dae-in activated his stealth ability, and Lily stealthily watched from above as he entered the Urk territory. He was confident that no one could see through his stealth. However, he noticed a mutant Urk chief, a powerful and dangerous foe. Lim Dae-in decided to stick to the plan. He threw a rock into the fire tower, causing it to fall, which was the agreed-upon signal for Lily to set fire at the entrance. The mutant Urk chief ordered his kind to attack. Lim Dae-in initially planned to break the stone statue, but the mutant Urk chief suddenly teleported behind him, preparing to swing his sword. Lim Dae-in wondered if the chief had seen through his stealth and immediately dashed away to avoid the attack. He sprinted as swiftly as his legs would carry him, determined to breach Lily's formidable firewall. The urgency of the situation compelled him to abandon his stealthy approach. After all, he had already been spotted. Lily asked if Lim Dae-in had been spotted, and he told her to run as well. They managed to escape but were tired from the pursuit. As they rested, Lim Dae-in realized that the area was more complicated than he had expected. Lily mentioned that she had been in this place before, having come out of the cave near the gate. She had encountered some strange individuals and had run away from them. Lim Dae-in thought that those strange people might be from the Red Snake organization and wondered if they had a hideout nearby. He patted Lily on the head and asked if they should check it out. Lily was hesitant, but Lim Dae-in gave her a radio and instructed her to stay hidden in a patch of grass. If anything happened, she was to press the button on the radio and inform him. Lim Dae-in entered the cave using his stealth ability, passing a guard armed with a gun. He realized that the Red Snake organization was not small based on the tight security measures. He wondered why they had set up their hideout so close to the Urk village. Inside the hideout, Lim Dae-in was shocked when he saw one of the researchers holding a white powder. He suspected that it might be the serpent drug. This drug was known to have addictive and lethal properties, and it had caused the deaths of many people in the past. The police had been unable to trace its source until now. Inside the cave, a Red Snake officer was scolding one of the members for failing to meet their production quota. Lim Dae-in observed the scene, knowing that this was the opportunity he had been waiting for. With around 100 armed Red Snake members and approximately 30 individuals involved in the drug's production, they were sitting on a valuable stash of serpent. Lim Dae-in estimated it to be worth trillions of won. One Red Snake officer was particularly upset due to the recent death of a member, which had slowed down their production rate. The officer scolded the man and urged him to recruit more members. While the Red Snake members were busy, he cut off the electricity. He managed to find a box containing the narcotic and prepared to make his exit. As Lim Dae-in left the cave, they suspected an intruder and began searching for the source of the disturbance. Outside the cave, Lim Dae-in called out to Lily and asked if she was ready. He explained that they would be playing a game of tag with the Red Snake members pursuing them. Lily eagerly agreed, finding the idea fun. Lim Dae-in cautioned Lily to stay hidden as there would be danger involved. A Red Snake soldier emerged from the cave and spotted Lim Dae-in, but he managed to take the box of serpent and evade the soldier's gunfire. Dashing left and right to avoid bullets, Lim Dae-in lured the Red Snake soldiers into a trap. Meanwhile, the Urks and the mutant Urk creatures charged toward the Red Snake soldiers, creating chaos. Lim Dae-in gave Lily the order to get out while he remained behind to deal with the situation. He threw the box of serpent into the Urk's territory. One of the Red Snake soldiers asked his comrade what they should do next, realizing they were in a dire situation. The soldier responded, "Eliminate the monster and retrieve the serpent. Dealing with that enemy comes after." Lim Dae-in suggested, "Let's make our exit now," and activated his stealth mode. The Red Snake guards found themselves engaged in a battle with the Urks. They fired their guns, but the mutant Urk appeared unaffected by the bullets, deflecting them with his body. The mutant Urk then swung his sword and decapitated one of the soldiers. As Lily watched from above, she asked impatiently, "When will this end? I'm hungry." Lim Dae-in replied, "Wait quietly. Things don't always conclude easily, but it will end soon. Shall I take action now?" As the mutant Urk approached the soldier cried out for help. After a fierce battle, the Urks lifted their swords in a sign of victory. Suddenly, Lim Dae-in appeared behind the mutant Urk and swiftly stabbed and slashed it, causing the mutant Urk to fall to its knees. Lim Dae-in thought, "I've taken care of their leader, so the others won't pose much of a problem." With the defeat of the mutant Urk, the Urks retreated, and Lim Dae-in thought, "Those guys will eventually be wiped out one by one." Lim Dae-in approached the Urk statue, broke it, and found the Guardian bracelet inside an artifact that could heal the wearer and enhance their condition. It allowed the casting of a protection spell by consuming mana, and its effects were amplified when worn in pairs. The bracelet adjusted perfectly to the wearer's size and replenished itself. Lim Dae-in wore the bracelet, and Lily asked if that was the treasure. He confirmed, "That's right, kiddo. Come here." Lim Dae-in placed the bracelet on Lily's wrist, explaining, "It has a protection spell on it. Ordinary people won't even notice it." Lily was delighted to wear the same bracelet as Lim Dae-in. Lim Dae-in thought to himself, that kid is still weak. I can track her through this bracelet, so it's best to be prepared for danger. He also considered, the leather from the chief monsters would make decent armor. Lim Dae-in suggested, let's postpone dinner a bit. I need to return to the cave. Lily was shocked and asked, why are you going back there? He replied, I'll explain later. But before that, Lily, burn everything to the ground. Lily inquired, will we get to eat if I do that? He responded, no, but the food we'll have afterward will taste even better. As the flames continued to devour the Urk's territory, Lily's fiery enthusiasm burned as bright as the flames she conjured. Her relentless assault was accompanied by shouts of hunger, as if the taste of victory could only be savored on a full stomach. Lim Dae-in, ever watchful of Lily's well-being, couldn't help but ponder the consequences of keeping her hungry for too long. The thought of an irritable and famished Lily wasn't a pleasant one. The scene shifted dramatically to the heart of the Red Snake organization's hideout, where a hail of bullets rained down upon our daring duo. However, Lim Dae-in's swift reflexes and mastery of his bracelet allowed him to conjure a protective shield, shielding them from the deadly projectiles. In the midst of the fight, he took a moment to mentor Lily. Kiddo, pay attention. You can do this with the bracelet. If you get used to it, you can change the shape of the shield. Lily, ever the quick learner, adapted almost instantly. With newfound confidence, she asked Lim Dae-in if she could use the shield to knock down their foes, and with a nod, she sent the soldiers tumbling in defeat. Lim Dae-in couldn't help but marvel at her innate talent, dubbing her a true monster. Among the fallen soldiers, one knelt, trembling with fear, and begged for mercy. Please spare me. I'll tell you everything about the organization. Meanwhile, Lily contemplated how to manipulate the shield's shape to her advantage. However, Lim Dae-in seemed uninterested in the soldier's plea for information. Instead, he cut to the chase, asking, where's the safe? An hour later, they emerged triumphantly from the now destroyed hideout, the explosion behind them adding a cinematic touch to their exit. Lim Dae-in couldn't help but be pleased with the treasure they'd uncovered. A hidden place, not bad. Money aside, I've got a bunch of loot from here. With the danger behind them, Lim Dae-in turned to Lily and said, Kiddo, if you're done blowing up the place, you can get rid of the shield. However, Lily expressed concern about the fleeing enemies. Lim Dae-in reassured her confidently, don't worry about that. They have nowhere to run. As the surrendered soldiers huddled behind Lily's protective shield, Lim Dae-in contemplated the remaining narcotic producers. He didn't intend to take their lives, but he was far from ready to let them off the hook, considering their involvement in the serpent's production. Calling one of the soldiers by a peculiar nickname, Red Bean Rice Cake, Lim Dae-in gave him an unexpected order, follow me. Baffled, the soldier asked, huh, me? Why am I a Red Bean Rice Cake? With a sly grin, Lim Dae-in retorted, because you look like one. Anyway, follow Lily over here and go to my tent. The other Red Snake soldiers were not off the hook either, as Lim Dae-in commanded them to turn themselves in at the guard post in the restricted area. They were puzzled, asking, weren't you going to let us go? Lim Dae-in's response was stern and resolute, shut up. Did you guys really think what you've been doing was legal? If you guys still don't understand, I'll beat you up until you do. Fearful and cowed, they reluctantly agreed, saying, we'll turn ourselves in. With the Red Snake soldiers about to face the consequences of their actions, Lim Dae-in couldn't help but consider the potential implications of their testimonies, hoping that a certain individual named Titan Kim Suho wouldn't take their words too seriously. It seemed he had a plan that involved connecting with this mysterious figure in their shared underworld. As Lim Dae-in made his exit to indulge in a well-deserved treat, he left behind a peculiar scene within the tent. Lily was throwing a tantrum, desperately repeating the word hungry, yet the bewildered soldier could only scratch his head, unable to decipher her foreign language. Lily expressed her disappointment, saying that Lim Dae-in had promised her food as delicious as fried chicken. Lim Dae-in defended his cooking, but Lily disagreed, saying it didn't smell good and was mushy. She suspected it was snails again. Lim Dae-in called out to someone named Red Bean Rice Cake to cook. Red bean rice cake acknowledged and prepared a dish with 2 perfectly cooked pieces of pork belly, grilled garlic, seasoned green onions, wrapped in a sesame leaf and a piece of lettuce. Lily was amazed by the taste, declaring that it was incredibly good. Lim Dae-in scolded her for speaking with food in her mouth and advised her to finish chewing before talking. After 4 days passed, Lim Dae-in used the guild contract money to buy land near his tent. He talked to a real estate agent about the purchase, explaining that you never know what might happen in the future. Red bean rice cake, who Lim Dae-in had brought along, was busy building a log house. He mentioned that he had worked various jobs for 3 years, including cooking and cleaning, and was grateful for the new life Lim Dae-in had provided. Lim Dae-in agreed and told him to do his best for the next 3 years. Lily expressed her liking for Red bean rice cake's cooking. He planned to use him as a farmhand for 3 years and then send him off with some money. At the White House Guild, Lim Dae-in talked to Young-wai, who informed him that she had been appointed as the temporary assistant of Team 7, a new team. Lim Dae-in questioned whether it was really temporary, and Young-wai mentioned that another person would come later. She assigned him the task of memorizing documents for the day and informed him that he would start his official mission the following day. Lim Dae-in thought he should have rested more during the past 3 days. He then looked at the mission details for gate destruction and prepared for the upcoming mission. Lim Dae-in asked Young-wai about the clause in his contract that allowed him to refuse a long-term mission. She explained that the mission had been sent by the government a few days ago, involving 4 guilds, and the estimated time to clear it was 2 days. Team 7 was the only available team due to everyone's schedules. Lim Dae-in considered the 2 types of monster gates, a type, which disappeared on their own after spilling out monsters, and B-type, the case where the gate doesn't disappear even after spilling monsters, or when no monsters come out of the gate. In this case, someone needs to head inside the gates and kill all the monsters, and destroy the core to return. He recognized the location in the photos as the Maze of the Fallen Spirits, one of the most catastrophic gates to appear after the first gate. He recalled mentioning it when he was an instructor and realized it was a dangerous mission. Young-wai offered to pass the mission on to another guild if it was a problem, but Lim Dae-in decided that Team 7 would take care of it. As they traveled to the Blackhound Guild, Lim Dae-in thought about the need for a strong tanker to clear the gate and his efforts to recruit Wang Guho. The driver vowed at him, saying, "Take care, sir." He advised the driver not to do anything like this, and Young-wai praised him for being cool in that moment. Lim Dae-in expressed his discomfort around upright and kind people, preferring aggressive and rude individuals, like the members of the Blackhound Guild from his previous workplace. Lily was amazed by the tall buildings they passed by. They exchanged greetings with Kim Hyeon-tae and the members from the Blackhound Guild. Lim Dae-in and Hyeon-tae shook hands, and the conversation turned to the recruitment of Wang Guho. While sipping his coffee, Lim Dae-in privately pondered Hyeon-tae's role as the one who handled the dirty work for the guild and the potential challenges they might face in negotiating with him. Young-wai began discussing the 5 billion annulment compensation, but Hyeon-tae interrupted her. Hyeon-tae dropped a bombshell, revealing that Wang Guho had renewed his contract with the Blackhound Guild that morning, and the cancellation fees had skyrocketed to 10 billion. Young-wai was shocked, and Lim Dae-in's anger flared. Lim Dae-in suspected that Hyeon-tae was intentionally provoking them and might be recording the conversation secretly. He decided it was time to leave, thinking about Baek Young-wee's role as the daughter of the guild master and her potential manipulation. Hyeon-tae made a snide remark about Lily eating the cake and suggested taking her to the hospital due to the expired cake, which angered Lim Dae-in. He slapped Hyeon-tae, and when Blackhound team leader Seo-kyun moved to intervene, Lim Dae-in easily defeated him and even kicked him aside. Another man pulled out a knife, but Lim Dae-in warned them if they were not stronger than Seo-kyun, they couldn't do anything to him. Young-wai scolded Lim Dae-in for his actions, but he asked her if she was happy that he had taken matters into his own hands. Lily inquired about why he had beaten up the people who gave her cake, and Lim Dae-in explained that she shouldn't accept food from strangers. He promised to have Red bean rice cake prepare a lunchbox for her in the future, to which Lily agreed. Lim Dae-in's mind was occupied with doubts about the cake incident, but he pushed those thoughts aside for the moment. He sternly called Wang Guho and told him they needed to have a talk later. Suddenly, the guild leader of the Blackhound Guild, Kim Tai Jin, arrived on the scene. Lim Dae-in couldn't help but notice Tai Jin's intimidating aura as one of the first awakened individuals. Tai Jin inquired about what was happening. Lim Dae-in, aware that Tai Jin had likely observed the situation through cameras, agreed to explain. He proposed that if he took full responsibility, Tai Jin should release the others. Tai Jin agreed to this condition. Lim Dae-in instructed Lily to follow Young Wai and wait for him back at the guild. Lily, in her seriousness, asked if she should burn the place down, but Lim Dae-in advised her not to act recklessly, or else there would be no fried chicken for her. Lim Dae-in and Tai Jin engaged in a conversation about Tai Jin's proposal for Lim Dae-in to work as a spy while remaining in the White House Guild. Lim Dae-in expressed skepticism and mentioned the hefty cancellation fees they would need to negotiate. Tai Jin explained that they could continue their work with the White House Guild while relaying information to him. He promised generous compensation and pointed out that the contract offered wasn't a bad deal. Lim Dae-in then asked about the consequences of refusing. Tai Jin warned that if Lim Dae-in refused, he would have to pay for the trouble caused at the Blackhound Guild and might even lose the use of his arms. The stakes were high. Outside the Blackhound Guild, the guild leader of the White House Guild was demanding Lim Dae-in's release from Kim Tai Jin. He threatened to barge inside if Tai Jin didn't comply. However, Lim Dae-in intervened by calling the guild leader himself and explained that he had apologized sincerely. Did you enjoy the story? If so, please consider showing your support by liking and subscribing to my channel. Your encouragement keeps us going. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.